Hey gang, Sunday morning, Sifu Per Hacks here. It's kind of a quick video that I want to show you. I think you're going to find quite interesting. I wake up this morning and my wife and I are just flipping through the channels. My wife's always putting stuff on, and she puts VH1 on. And there's one of these crazy, reality shows where they talk about the greatest reality fights of all time or whatever. But I want to show you something because it brings up a point. We don't really go over that much self-defense here on Cheap Power. We do, Sifu Jones and myself, we're both martial artists. We both teach self-defense and those types of things, but we haven't really showcased it that much. But I saw this on VH1. I immediately went to YouTube and found some of the video pieces. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on here, and then I'm going to show you real quickly how you could get out of this situation, or how you could roll on this situation and get in an advantageous situation. I don't remember the name of the show, but it's two idiots going to be fighting. But one's a real small guy and one's a real big dude. You're going to see the big guy is really intimidating. How would you deal with a situation like that? Because many of our members, ask us, "Are you going to teach self-defense or whatever?" And occasionally we'll do that. But I'm going to show you real quickly here exactly how you would get out of a situation like that and get into an advantage. But one thing you got to realize in any altercation is that it's a serious situation, in the sense that you gotta know when to move or know when to not move, or when to run away, or whatever the case. You're going to see in this fight, it's a classic display of the smaller man being extremely intimidated by the bigger man. Can't even function. Fear factor is probably through the roof. Fortunately, there's bodyguards and everything around that can kind of break up the fight. But he took no decisive action because of his fear that if he were to actually strike back at the aggressor, that the aggressor would just basically demolish him, which could be the case. But in the street, you can't really take these type of chances because you don't have bodyguards separating you. But I'm going to kind of give you some tips that you could use in a self-defense situation like this to either diffuse it or to take action. But I'm going to show you how to take action. I think you're going to find it quite interesting. This is all impromptu, and let's go to the video, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. We'll be right back. Alright gang, here we are. I'm going to show you this short video clip. You got this big guy here who's going to be going up against the little fella. You're going to see exactly what happens. I'm going to kind of stop it, and then I'm going to actually go into my gym and show you how you might be able to get rid of this situation. Okay, here we go. You get a big guy like that, I mean, you really have to be careful because, a big guy like, now watch this. Big guy's getting in his face. Little guy here. Very intimidated. I mean, why would you not be intimidated when you get a big guy who is in your face? Now, one thing you have to notice is that he knows, this guy, the big guy, knows that the little guy's intimidated, so he's going to be able to push his weight around a little bit. Let's just watch a little bit. This guy's just commenting on the fight, obviously reality show. Now, the biggest problem is you have this little guy is yelling back at this guy and antagonizing. Anytime you get in a situation where you have two energies that are the same. For instance, this guy's real intimidating, real yang energy. This guy's trying to send yang energy back at him, but it's just not working because he's weak. And so this guy's going to take advantage of him. You'll notice that guy actually smacked him in the face. Let's rewind that just a little bit so you can see. Smacks him in the face. Now, in most cases, if somebody smacks you in the face, it's go time. So what could this guy do to actually take advantage of the situation and make it where he is actually at an advantage? We're going to show you that in a few minutes. But let's see the rest of it. Obviously an intimidating guy, people trying to separate. He grabs him by the neck. And of course that guy gets really scared, but he's still yelling. Everybody's always tough when they're separated. So, just a weird situation, but let's go back and talk a little bit about, the confrontation. There was more to it than that, but the point I'm making is when you have when you have a big guy against a smaller guy, you've got to take quick, decisive action. This guy obviously is letting fear take over. He's afraid to hit this guy back, which you can't really blame him in some regards. But what could you do in order to take care of this guy if he's really an intimidating factor? Let's think about it. Look at the positions that they're in, and the fact of the matter is they're on stairs. My first shot would be to this guy's groin. And then you've got to follow it up with decisive strikes. You can't strike once and think that that's going to do the job, because it's not on a big guy like this. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the gym. Again, like I said, this is all impromptu. I'm going to just show you exactly what you could do in a situation like that. So let's check out the gym. Here we are back at the dojo, at the gym, at my workout area down here. And let's go into the next phase of this short little video that I think you're going to get some good information on. But you saw in that fight, you get the smaller guy versus the bigger guy. Now, I'm about 5'7". I have this body opponent bag set up at about 6 feet tall. This is a great device, quite frankly. And what's nice is it's got a base, and that even if you live in an apartment, you can use it. You don't have to hang. Like, I got a hanging bag there, but obviously you need to be able to hang it. But this is a great device. I think they're like $300 or $400, but well worth it if you're into martial arts. I've got my Dim Mak strikes on here and everything like that. But anyway, you get a big guy, little guy, and the energies they're really clashing, because you got these two guys face to face. They're both putting off yang energy. Now, granted, the smaller guy's he's trying to do his best to put off yang energy to come across like he's not intimidated. But in fact, he's scared. He's really fearful, which is the case. I mean, a big guy coming after you, how can you not be fearful? Well, what I'm going to teach you a couple things here. Number one, the energy, which is what we're all about. Number two is, what do you need to do to strike back, to take advantage of the situation? And again, I'm not advocating that you fight. Believe me, that's the furthest thing. I want to show you how this energy works, because there's many different ways that you can get around this situation. Now, if you saw that situation, it was already combustible. There were some things before that. And the only reason I'm showing that, and it's probably better examples, but I just happened to be watching it on TV, said, hey, I can showcase this, and I'm going to show it to the people on the list, and I think they'll get some value out of it. That's the only reason I did it. I just saw it, and I thought I would just take advantage of it. But first thing is that in a situation, an altercation, never get this close to somebody. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But that is the most common position that people get in, because they want to show how tough they are. They get, their arms all jacked up, and they put out their chest, and they get face to face with somebody. Well, that's the best way for somebody to come up and give you a nice uppercut and knock your ass out. I mean, that's bottom line. All right, and if somebody's a fighter, a real fighter, they're gonna knock you out. There's no doubt about it. I've seen it happen. I remember being in a bar one time, and he was a guy that I even knew from high school, and this dude said something to him. He got up, and they did this classic face-to-face, talking some BS, and then all of a sudden the other guy, the guy that was kind of a friend of mine from high school, was there. Bam! That was it. That was the end of the fight. Over. Okay? The guy was knocked out. This guy that I knew from high school. Knocked out. Done. That was the end of the fight. And the whole reason is because he's not prepared. Your arms are down there. You can't really adequately defend.